Assalamualaikum and good morning to Dr. Hamizatul Hawa binti Mat Sani and my panel, Puan Mariam Miri binti Abdullah. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Irfan bin Muhammad Nasir from 3 BTMM Section 2, Group 1. My title FYP is the Antecedent of Social Media Marketing Performance by SME during COVID-19. Next, for the research background, is about during the COVID-19 issues, all developed and emerging national experienced a significant decrease in physical shopping. It resulted in a rise in e-commerce. Besides that, according to NIS, the internet benefits the SMEs by boosting their ability to interact with other entrepreneurs. The pandemic caused a small and medium enterprise SMEs in developing nations operating in the retail sector face a particular problem. For example, SME merchants were unable to run their physical store due to the mandatory shutdown. SME is gaining traction in the business sector. This trend being driven by companies who use SMM as a strategic tool to boost the company value, revenue, and strategic edge. For the problem statement, it's about the issue that has impacting SME marketing performance during the COVID-19 is by lack of cash flow, which delay the SME digitization. As a result, SME are hampered by outdated technology. This is because in Malaysia, more than half of Malaysia SME perceive a lack of financial resource as a major obstacle to digitization, and more than two-thirds of SMEs are unaware that they have any financial resource at all. Next, social media marketing strategy. This is because there's a problem in the social media marketing strategy. For example, the pandemic impact on the purchasing behavior and decision-making process of customer. This influence in changes to marketing strategies that are used. Is changing from the traditional marketing to the social media marketing. Okay, next is active presence. Active presence is a problem to the company. This is because company that affected must communicate in highly specific terms, targeting specific customer depending on their situation for what is most essential to them. And the last problem statement is about customer engagement initiative. This pandemic effect on consumer purchasing behavior and the societal hurdle that affect their day-to-day existence have been recognized. For this research, for research objective, there's three research objectives that we investigate. The first one is to investigate the relationship between social media strategy with the social media performance by SME during COVID-19. The second research objective is to investigate the relationship between social presence with the social media performance by SME during COVID-19. And the third research objective is to investigate the relationship between customer engagement initiative with social media performance by SME during COVID-19. Next, for research question, the first one is, what is the relationship between social media strategy and the social media performance by SME during COVID-19? The second research question is, what is the relationship between active presence and the social media performance by SME during COVID-19? And the third research question is, what is the relationship between customer engagement initiative and social media performance by SME during COVID-19? Next is scope and significance of study. Scope of study. In this research, researcher target respondent will emphasize on the F&B SME owner who implement social media marketing in Kuala Langat, Selangor, Malaysia only. Therefore, questionnaire will distribute to the target respondent via online survey such as Google Form for achieving desired objective and easy to answer it. The next is significance of study. In this study, researcher can investigate the social media strategy that influence in marketing performance of SME during COVID-19. Furthermore, researchers can determine the factors that lead into social media marketing during COVID-19 that improve marketing performance in SME. Next is about chapter 2, is about a literature review. Internet in first one is Internet in marketing activities. It is the Internet has grown as a vital communication and economic channel for both business and philanthropic organization. Customers, on the other hand, rely heavily on the Internet for information, shopping, communication, leisure activity. Next is about definition of social media. Kaplan and Hailing define a social media as a variety of Internet-based applications that build on the ideological and technical root of Web 2.0 and that enable the production and sharing of user-created content. The first one is social media strategy. Social media strategy definition as a goal-directed planning process for producing user-generated content, supported by an assortment of web applications. This is because to construct a unique and value competitive position. Next one is about social presence. There are several things companies must do to maintain an active presence on social media platforms, including creating content, trying with the new marketing ideas, and interacting with the customer on a regular basis. Next one is customer engagement initiative. Customer emotional, cognitive, and behavioral reaction to a brand are all manifestations of consumer engagement. Next is about small and medium-sized enterprise, SME in Malaysia. In Malaysia, 99% of the country business entities are classified as small and medium companies. In 2018, small and medium-sized enterprises were responsible for the employment of a 6% Malaysia workforce, and this contribute to 522.1 billion to the gross domestic product. Meanwhile, for food and beverage SME in Malaysia, based on the Philander Investment Trade report show that over 8,000 firms operate in Malaysia, the great majority of which are small and medium-sized enterprises. The next is about review of relevant theoretical model. The first one is technology acceptance model. The top model was built on top of the theory reasonable action (TRA) paradigm, which aimed to describe how information technology is used in the range of contexts and work situations. The fundamental TAM model focuses on the two specific beliefs. First one is perceived usefulness (PU) and the perceived ease of use (PEU). Factors such as a social media strategy, social presence, customer engagement initiative, these three factors has been included in this research as an example of the technological characteristic that influence their marketing performance. For conceptual framework, it shows the three independent variables, which is social media strategy, social presence, and customer engagement initiative. And this is a relationship that influencing social media performance of SME during COVID-19. Meanwhile, the dependent variable is marketing performance. For hypothesis number one is to figure is HO is there is no significant relationship between social media strategy and marketing performance of SME during COVID-19. Meanwhile, the H1 is there is a significant relationship between social media strategy and marketing performance of SME during COVID-19. The second hypothesis is there is no significant relationship between social presence and the marketing performance of SME during COVID-19. Meanwhile, the H1 is there is a significant relationship between social presence and marketing performance of SME during COVID-19. The third hypothesis is there is no significant relationship between customer engagement initiative and marketing performance of SME during COVID-19. Meanwhile, the hypothesis number one is there is significant relationship between customer engagement initiative and marketing performance of SME during COVID-19. Next is a research design in chapter 3. In this research design, it is to determine how a study will go about addressing a certain research question. It is to utilize a description, regulative, and exploratory strategy. Next is methodology choice. In this research, I choosing a quantitative research methodology because when conducting a survey, the questionnaire approach was based on quantitative research. For this study, the data source used is primary data, and in primary data, we will use a questionnaire, for example, giving a survey. For the secondary data, there is a journal article, internal record, book and government publication website. Next in the research methodology is sampling design. In sampling design, it's about the sample design formula refer to the formula used to calculate sample statistic using the estimate technique. This data allow us to make the following inferences about the demographic of the population. Okay, the next is sampling technique. In sampling technique, it's about quota sampling focus on, and in the study, we focus on food and beverage SMEs that use social media marketing. Next is about sampling size. For this study, the data that will be gathered from a small and medium-sized business who engage in marketing through social media, and the sample study of the study is 150 people who participate in through Google Meet or face-to-face. And this response will be from the owner of the SME business that have a previous expertise in marketing through social media. Okay, the next is questionnaire design. Questionnaire design is, in this study, we use a 5-point Likert scale. And next is about pilot test. In this study, the administering the questioning to a 20 of participants to see the verified or integrate into the final sample of the questionnaire. And with this, the recipient From this, the researcher could allow the questionnaire to be appraised before it is sent to the respondent. And last but not least is about data analysis method. Data analysis method is about use descriptive analysis. For example, using a Pearson correlation analysis, descriptive analysis, and linear regression analysis. In this study, descriptive analysis that being used is about to measure of a spread used to how normally distribute a set of number is. Because the descriptive analysis is a technique that may be used to potentially make a sense of unstructured data, and the data have been arranged and modified to offer information with more descriptiveness. And this will be used to determine the collection of data on the demographic variable. Meanwhile, for a Pearson correlation analysis is about between the two variables. For example, independent variable and dependent variable. This is to establish the strength of link between variables, including social media strategy, social presence, and customer engagement initiative, and SME marketing performance. Okay, next is about linear regression analysis. Linear regression analysis is about to figure and to analyze to figure how one dependent variable is related to many independent ones. For example, there are three factors in this study that have been identified as a main driver of SME success in social media marketing. That factors is social presence, social media marketing, social media strategy, and the effort to engage customer. And this has led the researcher to decide to use linear regression. Next, in the research methodology, there are also validity and reliability. Invalidity is the method for measuring what should be measured, which is the degree to which in a quantitative analysis a concept was accurately measured. Meanwhile, for reliability is defined as a replication and consistency using our Cronbach alpha. This is software.